you are currently in the most radiant phase of your life. Maybe you're a woman listening to this, saying, rolling your eyes perhaps, because you are either experiencing all consuming physical, emotional, or mental challenges. And I still say, this is potentially the most radiant phase of your life. And I can say this because I, like you, have suffered in ways that felt all consuming. And also, I have been steeped into experimentation of a time tested wisdom that has given me the ability to connect the dots, to recognize why indeed this time is even more special than the others. Although it took the others to get here. So, more special, that's the point is the most radiant time is now. Okay. Although studying Ayurveda would be a way, especially just the foundation of Ayurveda in all the right ways, would be a way for you to also connect these dots. I'm here sharing this with you today because I've come to an understanding that if you merely, simply begin to embrace the qualities of the feminine in your life, just even a little bit more, this shift towards greater radiance will begin to unfold for you. And then you may ask, well, how exactly do I do that? Especially if you have been accustomed to putting on that shield of steel in order to claim your safety, your security in moments that would otherwise be unbearably vulnerable. Well, what I propose to you is to get to know the water element. The water element's qualities are receptive, yielding, fluid, nourishing, soft, and yet so much more potent than any shield of steel that you could have. That the water has the capacity to dissolve the sharp edges of a rock. That's how powerful water is. So how do you bring in more droplets of water in this phase of life? Well, you may have noticed that as time goes on, the movement of the mind and also of our tendencies begins to also speed up. And as it does, it leads to all kinds of systemic dryness, many of the symptoms that you may be accustomed to if you're a woman at menopause or premenopause. But when you bring in the qualities of water, you begin to lubricate that degeneration that happens from the dryness of excess movement. You may have noticed that your willingness to express increases with this time of information, and with time and the desire to share your experiences. That is such a powerful thing. This indeed is the phase of life most conducive of expression. But you may also have noticed, if you pay attention, you see that it's there, that this idea of expression tends to replace our need for experience. And so the water element, with its depth, with its weight, comes in to remind us that experience and expression are not the same thing. That in fact, experience, settling into our experiences, is a prerequisite to expression. So we have to do that with more frequency. Thirdly, although not last, but we'll leave it at this. Hopefully, it's beginning to light up some areas for you. This third phase of life, being the childhood being your first phase, adulthood being the second phase. It's a time when prana, also known as life force, is very much willing to spread, to share, to give of itself. Again, that's a beautiful thing. As long as it's not at the expense of ojas. Ojas is that aspect or that broader sense of immunity, the kind of immunity that supports not only physical health, but mental health, emotional health, and even our connection to the true aspects of ourselves and spirit. So water comes in and restores, replenishes our ojas container. So bring into your contemplation your relationship to the water element. Do it for even a little window of time each day. Oh, this is not working. There's friction here. I'm about to pick up that shield. How can I be more receptive in this situation? Or even if receptivity is not within reach at that moment, or maybe even not appropriate, to be more flexible may not be appropriate in that environment. But can you step back and call upon your creativity, your intuition, so that you can be inspired with the ideal thing for that moment? That's bringing water in. Now, we have our patterns, and they naturally are pushed forth when we are triggered. And that's so why it's so critical. And I wish I had known this in my earlier years. But it's so critical that we gather in groups with other like-minded individuals who are on the same plane, the same intention, to bring more droplets of water into their daily lives to access that deeper strength, the kind of strength that dissolves sharp edges and moves all things. Come together in groups so that you can be continuously refueled, renourished, again, water, by that which you are looking to integrate into your life more of the time. Radiant Femininity, a gathering that happens once a month on the first Saturday of each month here where I am in upstate New York, in Rochester, or online, has been created to serve as that container. Perhaps you already have such a network within reach, people that you already trust and know. Cultivate it, make it a priority. If not, come and check out to see what we have to offer and whether or not we can be of service to where you are heading and what you're looking to accomplish. Especially if indeed you suspect, even if there's just a tiny bit of curiosity into the possibility that indeed this can be the most radiant phase of life that you have yet stepped into. From my heart to yours, namaste.